right, Shalom. This the brother Kaya from the GMS Louisiana Saints coming back at you with another sit down. And I'm at transit, just on my way, just basically evacuate for the those double trouble hurricanes that's coming. And I just want to go into the spirit to get in, basically having a spirit to adapt, man. All right, and with adapting, it's a pattern of things that follow this action that you take with adapting. And on the screen you can see it says adapt, react, readapt, then apt. So you gotta not only be apt to adapt, but you gotta readapt and then make the proper adjustments, man. Because when you go into the word adapt, it means to what? It basically means to what? Make changes, to adjust. All right, and we know scriptures tell us, in Ezra 16. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's cases where, in our minds, we can become biased, to the decisions we want to make. And I'm gonna get into two contexts in which bias, can either harm or hurt us or help or protect us. I'm gonna go into normalcy bias and I'm gonna go into cognitive bias. All right, now, for the sake of pretty much being on the road, I ain't gonna read them and try to hit the key points, and Lord willing, it be edifying. All right, because the Lord do things, in particular, in general, for us to get a cognitive understanding of it, man. All right, to see the ins and the outs of it, the effects that it could harm. And also, you do things, of course, we got to have faith, man. All right? But some things, the Lord do, well, wisdom got to take its part, and that's going to come on behalf of the cognitive bias. All right? Normalcy bias is basically like being stagnant in your wisdom, man. But this is normalcy bias. I'm going to bring this one out first. It says normalcy bias or normality bias is a cognitive bias which leads people to disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. You see? So they disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. One would say, well, I got faith the Lord gonna protect me. And rightfully so. I'm one that I rep that same, that saying, and I, boys in repping, meaning, I have it in my cognitive reputation. All right? So that's what I mean by repping it. I lean on that, I stand on that. But understanding too, that faith come with acts of work, all right? That you gotta work and make yourself also do the things properly you need to do to also push yourself out of harm's way, all right? The Lord give you he bless us with the luxury, all right, or the services of him to basically protect us in certain situations, but we're not to overlook or disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. You see? So we know, what the Lord is capable of doing, and certain things can become a threat warning to us. All right? But we know, how to discern when, it's about to rain and we got something outdoors that can't get wet. What we go do? We go pick it up and bring it inside. So it's nothing different with disasters, all right, or hurricanes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to take the cognitive approach to it, and hey, to each his own, right? Certain circumstances, financial circumstances can hinder brothers or whatever the case may be. But in a sense, you got to always take you always got to take out of it, what you need to take out of it, man. But it says, consequently, individuals underestimate the likelihood of a disaster when it might affect them, which is hypothetically speaking, it might affect you. And as we serve the Lord, we believe to be men of the Lord. We know, hey, the Lord got a hedge around us, right? All right, but understanding that hedge is not to be taken for granted, It says, and its potential adverse effects. The normalcy bias causes many people to not adequately prepare for natural disasters, pandemics, and calamities caused by human error. You see? So the human, by us being in this flesh, man, we could surpass things that we should basically put more thought into, man, or look into more. It says about 70% of people reportedly display normalcy bias during a disaster. So that's a little percentage, you know, where they go. And trust me, man, a split decision, a quick decision can cause you a lifetime of pain, man. You know, so hey, we got to be up on it, man, and you know, and basically, you know, focus in and zone in, because the Lord told us to be pilgrims upon the earth. All right, so before I get into the cognitive basis, but on bias, I'm gonna grab this this precept real quick, okay? This is on 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 40. It says, "O people," I'm gonna read 39. "Even so shall not the plagues be slack that come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side," which we seeing now. You see, the plagues, the pestilence. All right, danger is on every side right now, man. And the man of the Lord can identify these dangers and don't overpass it or overlook it. It says, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." All right, and a pilgrim is as a nomad. You know, one that moves around suddenly, immediately. All right, because you got to have that adaptive approach, man. Okay, versus that normalcy bias. All right, because we coming in a time where everything gonna be done on the fly, man. All right, and you could use certain situations prior to you know, Jacob's trouble, right, to get yourself prepared, man. All right, hey, just like for example, you know, the hurricane, you got to pick up, grab certain things, you know, for hurricane evacuation, right? That's coming now. I got to pick up certain things. I got to leave my comfort zone. All right, these are all things that wall you up and get you ready for what? For the battle. You see? You know, because some Jakes don't like to get out of their home, man. I'm gonna just go to my home, man, you know, and ride it out. Hey, you could get stagnant, man, in your approach, man. You see? All right. I'm gonna jump into the cognitive bias. A cognitive bias is a systematic pattern. All right, so it's a pattern of the thing. It says in the scripture, show yourself diligent and a pattern of good works and good things, of deviation from norm or rationality and judgment. All right, deviating from that normalcy bias. You see, or being rational in your rationalizing in your judgment, man. All right, but respecting your judgment. You know, abounding in the basin, which I'm gonna grab that next. It says individuals create their own subject reality from their perception of the input. An individual's construction of reality, not the objective input, may dictate their behavior in the world. Thus, cognitive bias may sometimes lead to perceptual distortion, inaccurate judgment, illogical interpretation, or what is broadly called irrationality. So, and then that's like basically having your mind stuck in a stupor, or locked into something, zoned into where you so comfortable with doing it, right? You like, man, hey, you know, I'm kind of do this, man. Even when the approach calls for you to adjust it, you know, you so kind of being set in your ways to a degree. All right, so you know, then that you know, that could be also detrimental to how you know, approach things, man. You know, because hey, as in it's true, man, we gotta approach, we gotta be able to abound in the base, all right, and hey, we gotta, you know, make just multiple things. It's not just disasters, all right. We talking about dealing with order, all right, a lot of things, man, which I'm gonna grab into. It says although it may seem like this type of perception is few and far between, irrationality and deviation from the norm is actually a common thing. These biases help a person to find commonalities and shortcuts that simply make it easier to live and navigate the world in different situations in life. So I just went to those two, cognitive bias and normalcy bias. All right, you know, the point out the similarities in them, and basically, you know, on Wikipedia, you know, nothing fancy or nothing, you know, just to grab those little insights on them, man, to further edify the video, man. You see? Oh, All right, so now I'm gonna jump into a couple precepts just to back up without, the whole moral of the story, man. But you go on the online etymology of adapt, it says to fit, to adjust, to fit to. You see? To fit new circumstances. Now, let's get this clear, right? You can never get ready for change because you don't know what to expect from the change. But you could do those things on the basis of the fundamental which the Most High gave us, right? So he tell us get ready for Jacob trouble. Now, how you get ready when you don't know what's going to happen, right? But he said wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time, basically to follow those things which he have given us. If we follow those things which we have given us, we basically got ourselves ready, man. We got ourselves ready. Even though we don't know what's coming, the Lord, like, if you do these things, you'll be okay. You see, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, meaning the foundation, all right, so that your feet stand sure, okay? Because case in point, use an analogy. If you're getting ready to fight a boxer and you didn't see no tape, nothing on this boxer, where you didn't know what to expect, though, yeah, you're a boxer too. Let's say you're a champion, right? Meaning you've been in a lot of war zones, you done went to war, you did certain things, you battled, you well-traveled, right? But the next boxer you about to see, your challenge, the greatest challenge for you as the champion is, they brought up a fighter that you ain't see nothing on him. Meaning you don't know, all you're gonna do is get in the ring. You don't know his size, his weight, his speed, his agility, his chin. You don't know nothing about him. All right, that's how you gotta have that mindset of adapting, man. To like when you get in the ring, like, okay, I'm gonna take all the things that I learned into the ring, and it should, do me well. It should serve me well. All right, enough. Even though I haven't seen my opponent to properly train for him, that's you could liken that. That's synonymous with adapting, man. So in the truth, we do the same thing when we come in. We deal with Matter of fact, let me get into it, man. All right, so it's dealing with basically new circumstances, new challenges, man. All right, embracing them. This on Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. It says, "Now that I speak in respect of want, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content." Because, sometimes your state change, all right? It may change in a moment's notice. So you got to have the spirit and the truth of having a moment's notice. And on top of having that moment's notice of making a move or adjustment, all right? Because something may change in the camp. Like this, man. The elder brothers make it together, say it's an imminent, immediate change, all right? We was doing this moving forward, but now we got to adjust to this as of right now. All right, you got to make the proper preparations to what? Be able to adjust, man, on the fly. You see? So whatever state you in. So if you got to get up and going to nature, going to woods, hey, you got to be up for the challenge, man. All right, and to be content, for whatever state you in. You see? All right, it says, "I know both how to abase and I know how to abound." All right, that's what? That's the ultimate that's the ultimate adjustment process, man. The plans or itinerary for adjusting. Matter of fact, let me get this word right here. All right, this knowing how to base, man.
Strong's G 5013. Tapainao.
Okay, it says to make low, bring low, to level, reduce to a plane. Metaphor, to bring it to a humble condition, reduce to meaner circumstances. You see? So basing yourself ain't just, all right, I'm going to take the low. Nah, it's taking the low and understanding what approach you took. Why you condescended to that lower state, man. It says to assign a lower rank or place to. So we ought to take our lower rank and place under brethren or argue, man. Whether we see what's fit for the situation or not, but giving honor and obeying those that have the rule over you, man. All right? It says to abase, to be ranked below others who are honored or rewarded. And you see? So it's not just, you know, being able to adapt on the fly. It's also making yourself low, all right? And understanding how to take your proper place, man. All right? To let things flow freely, man. It says to humble or base myself, my humble living. To lower or depress of one's soul, bring down one's pride. To have a modest opinion of oneself. To behave in an unassuming manner. You see? Because a situation may come up to where you want to assume of it. Like, well, why we can't wear shorts? You know, it's hot outside. You know, hey, you got to just take it on the chin. You know, hey, it's for the greater good. Hey, put pants on, man. You know, like the elders came out with it, man. Hey, it's hot as a motherfucker. Hey, you got to wear pants, man. You see? So you got to do those things that's uncomfortable, because adapting come with uncomfortable, man. You see, when you in the mud, all right, when you're in the mud, guess what, man? That's an uncomfortable walk or run. And especially not only walking in the mud you have static with that, but how much more if you got to run in the mud with book sacks on and guns and shit? You see? It says, so to behave in an unassuming manner. Not having an unassuming objective to the basic objective to the thing that has been carried out, or the order that has been carried out, man. You see, these all come with adapting, man. Okay? It says, devoid of all haughtiness. You know, devoid it, man. You know, hey, elder brother asks you something, you know, just learn to go with the flow. You know? Hey, whether it sit well with you or not, we not in this thing to babysit feelings. You see? That go for myself first. The video go to myself first, then other items, man. To devoid of all haughtiness, man. All right? Not bucking up. Able to adapt. Even when able to adapt when something that we would call it benefit you. Or something that just say you're not comfortable with, but it's the right thing. You know? Okay, which you always should be comfortable with the right way. You know, but you know, basically coming into that, man. You know, it says, you know, humiliate, you know, bring low, humble down. You see? So it says, I know how both to abase, and I know how to abound. Now let's get the abound. All right, because hey, you could get into something and really excel in it, man. Let me get this word abound.
Strong's G 4052. Perisuo.
Right. It says to exceed a fixed number or measure. To be left over and above a certain number or measure. To be over, to remain, to exist, or to be at hand in abundance. It's something in particular I want. It says to be preeminent, to excel. You see? So it's things where you gonna excel, and you might get promoted. All right, brother may, you know, measure the spirit up and like, hey, this brother be, you know, fit for a job. And you got to excel in a spot. You know, you can't be just content with, all right, I got the spot. I'm good now, man. I can relax. You know, even when coming in the truth. You know, I always find myself telling brothers to the threshold, you know, if they coming over from the other side, which I told myself this too. Hey, when brothers coming over, brother like, yeah, you know, I finally made it in the camp. I'm like, well, hey, you just getting started. Okay, the real work started now, which not as if, you know, on the other side, your work didn't count for anything. But hey, it get even harder, man. Right? You got to maintain to stay in it, because there's nothing to get into something. It's always the hardest thing to do is to maintain it, man. All right, making that adjustment to maintain what you have. All right, it's easy to get some shit, but the maintenance of things is hard, you know, hard to keep, man. It says to be preeminent, to excel more than exceed. You see? But to have an abundance, abounding, okay. Down to turn, okay.